Welcome back to episode 322 of the Bad Taste Video Podcast. This is a special Friday edition, Friday night edition. Probably by the time most of the people listen to this via podcast, it's going to be Saturday morning. But we are here for some backwoods mutant hillbilly madness from the early 2000s. Grizz, I think we may be looking at some of your relatives. But before that, let's hit the fucking intro. Yeah, baby, some Wrong Turn action from 2003. But before we get into it, I think we have to give everybody an explanation. We were intending to do like a remote recording while Mr. Grizz was on a little bit of a vacation, but we realized it was just not going to be up to the quality that we need for when we release this as a podcast. Also, we don't want to alienate pretty much half of our audience. So, we decided, hey, we deserve a little bit of
leeway. They deserve better. So here we are, Friday night special, baby.
Yeah,
this is gonna be fun
special.
Though. Friday night.
Yeah.
Fucking nothing to do. Let's fucking get down, dude.
I had a fucking little drink. I'm missing SmackDown for this, which is okay. It's okay.
Is this the first one on USA?
No, last week.
No, it's already begun.
Yeah. I'm trying to think now. Raw's on USA. SmackDown's on USA. Unfortunately, I can't get rid of any of my streaming services yet. I got to keep everything as is, but it is what it is. But
now's the best time to have all the streaming services, dude. Is the fall, because everyone puts out like their curated Halloween list of movies. I mean, most of it's not the best, but there's some fucking gems you come across where you're like, "Fuck yeah, man, I forgot about that one. That's the fucking winner."
It's starting to trickle out now. I noticed. I think it was maybe like Peacock or whatever already had like on the main page like one of those little slider areas for like scary movies, but they didn't have the it's not exactly like the Halloween thing yet. But I've already been getting into it. I've watched the fucking remake of Night of the Living Dead. That's always like a fall watch for me. What else did I fucking watch? Shit. Oh, Dawn of the Dead. That's another like fall watch. I watch that all the time, but like I've been getting in the mood, trying to like work my way up to starting to watch the real deal, Halloween horror films.
I had to I had to watch The Shining this past week. It's a great secluded fucking spot horror movie.
Oh, you watched it at the cabin?
Yeah, it was a great spot to watch it. I watched Cabin in the Woods. Another fucking. I actually, jumped in a little early, but I was feeling the mood, so I went with some Ernest Scared Stupid. I already got into it. So, but it was a perfect fucking movie, man. Trick or Treat, I watched again, the fucking newer one there with the fucking weird kid and shit, dude. I've always shit on it. Not as horrible.
Growing on you.
Not as horrible. I mean, I think it's just like the fan base has always kind of annoyed me.
It's the fandom that turned it sour for you.
Which is a lot of things in life.
One thing I just want to say is what's up to Kiryu Gore from the Dead with My Friends podcast.
Yeah, dude, what's up, bud? Miss you fucking coming in the fucking chats and hanging out with us every show. You were a great contribution.
He's got his Halloween watch list curated already for the season. Dude, what is your number one?
Yeah, Halloween what's your number one and two? Give us your top two, actually.
What are you putting on at like fucking, 8, 10 o'clock at night on Halloween?
Also, shout out to you guys with Dead with My Friends beating us to the punch on Cabin Fever. Your guys' episode. There you go, man. That's fucking what's up.
We had a couple things lined up and we kind of changed it like 4 times, and then even changed the date that we were fucking recording. It was just one of those weeks. We deserve some leeway. We're 300.
You don't miss though.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man. We're all right. We're here. We got the chat going. It's Friday night.
Halloween 1 and 2. I could have called that for you, bud. I probably could have called that.
That's too obvious, man. You can't do Halloween 1 and 2. Come on, man. We got to fix that.
He's talking. I thought he was talking about the fucking Rob Zombie ones, and I was like, oh, I get it.
I mean, then we would have to maybe like call a hospital or something, have somebody go check on him if those are the number 1 and 2s.
I would. I watch fucking Rob Zombie's Halloween definitely every year this time, but I don't like the original Halloweens, and I love that. 1, 2 is fucking unwatchable. I'll agree with everybody on that. 2 is a piece of shit.
Oh yeah. I just, for whatever reason, just had like a flashing moment of thinking you were speaking about the original Halloween 2. I was like, dude, what?
No, like, I mean, that's probably the better one. Honestly, out of fucking the original, like, of the OG series. If I'm going 1, 2, I like 3 the best because it has nothing to do with all that bullshit. 2 is probably the better one compared to 1, in my opinion. 1's okay, a little sleeper for me. It's not really been my favorite thing all along.
Here's a question for you, Grizz. What is your or at least one of your favorite Halloween movies that you watch every year that's not a Halloween themed or fall themed movie?
I mean, now is Scary Movie.
Well, no, I'm saying like how the
well, that's not like 13th. Fall themed or anything. Yeah, it's not like
Scary Movie is Halloween themed.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right. You're saying like nothing to do with Halloween.
Yeah,
man. I mean, I watch so many, like, this is like the time of the year where I just load up on like so many different horror movies. Like, I always watch like the different Nightmare series this time of year.
Yeah.
I usually won't dig into a Nightmare on Elm Street any other time, but for some reason this time of the year, I'll fucking marathon the whole fucking thing all the way to fucking Freddy versus Jason, which I still think is a fucking awesome movie. I absolutely love Freddy. And it's actually like kind of this similar time period as Wrong Turn. And like, dude, some of these movies, like when I watched this week, it took me back to like high school and remembering like this kind of like awesome time period in horror that I didn't realize was like I was in the middle of when it was happening.
It was like a renaissance.
Like I could look back on that like early 2000s and being like, damn, like, the 90s kind of fizzled out towards the end, and then they really kind of like tried to revamp horror in those early 2000s years where like they were combining a lot of that like nu metal influence on society and stuff, and like a lot of that's present in these movies, including like even in this, the credits are all like fucking nu metal fucking songs and shit, dude. It's fucking wild. So,
well, at that time, like nu metal was in the mainstream, like it was like a darker thing in the mainstream. So people were doing these like horror movies. They were not as like teen friendly. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't necessarily a movie that like 16-year-old's gonna go watch and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go make out with my girlfriend in the movie theater to this. It was more so like, I'm gonna go see this and be like, holy fuck, what the hell did I just watch?
Well, yeah, there was that in that same time period, because there was these movies that like kind of pushed the buttons of like what is comfortable to watch and like what people were used to watching as far as like, you know, what gore was, because gore had become hyper realistic around this time period.
Mm-hmm.
I think more so than ever before in horror movies. You get movies like, you know, I think Saw was one of the first ones that kind of started this like idea of like a different kind of horror, followed by like, you know, Eli Roth and like, you know, what he's doing, Hostile and stuff like, or Hostel and stuff, like really different kinds of horror movies that like take the gore porn up to a different level.
Yeah.
Than I would think what people were used to in this like hyper realistic way that had never been done before.
Yeah, it was almost like it was like recreating the early 80s. You know what I mean? Like all those movies with like the hyper violent kills and all this shit, before the, you know, the ratings board started to neuter everything. And in the early 2000s, like people got a little less strict when it came to things that were in movies and things that were acceptable going to theaters. You started having movies, you know, you have the Hills Have Eyes remake. You have things like fucking Wolf Creek and shit. Like all these movies that are like
Wolf Creek, dude, for sure.
Didn't like High Tension come out around this time also, and all that stuff.
Dude, that Hills Have Eyes remake, you go back and watch it now, that's fucking brutal, dude. Like, what an epic remake that I liked it at the time, but I didn't like think as highly of it now as I do now. Like, I think that movie's fucking awesome now compared to how I felt about it when it first came out.
Well, I feel like also it's kind of like you have these filmmakers that at that time, like a generation of filmmakers that grew up watching like the original ones, going to see The Prowler and everything. And by the time they were old enough to make these movies and all that shit, like somebody like Eli Roth watching all the Italian gore movies and stuff, you know, they started making Hostel and Saw and the Hills Have Eyes remake and all these like modern horror movies that kind of recreate what they were doing in the late 70s, early 80s with the Grindhouse movies and shit.
Oh, 100%.
And it became almost like a mainstream thing. Everybody was looking out for like, oh, Saw, you know, every Halloween you get a new Saw movie, and Rob Zombie doing Halloween 2, all this shit. And it's like not your typical version of that film. It's a much more graphic and violent and dirty, you know.
Go back and watch those fucking Texas Chainsaw remakes from those time periods, man.
Oh, that first one is brutal, man, and it's awesome.
Fucking awesome. Dude, they're so fucking good. Compared to that piece of shit fucking movie they made a few years ago, like those movies, I look back on them now, I was like, I shit on these so hard when they came out because I was like, oh, it's fucking TCM's the fucking shit. You can't.
How could you remake this? How could you remake a movie like this?
Now I watch those and I'm like, this is fucking incredible.
This is
like,
sick,
I get it. I fucking get it, dude. Like, and I just kind of was like too horror snobby, thinking that I was a young punk kid thinking that I knew something about fucking movies and shit because I liked horror movies, thinking that I was special, and I wasn't. Like, everybody fucking gets into horror movies, man.
Yeah, of course.
So like, you know, now looking back on it, I'm like, dude, those were probably like some of the best remakes that you could make for a modernized version of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That fucking hits it out of the park, man.
Dude,
I like the fucking chat right now too, going in on these fucking the soundtrack debate. I like, what's the best soundtrack of this time period? I can't believe nobody has mentioned the Queen of the Damned soundtrack with fucking dude. That is chock full of fucking new metal bangers.
Go Google that one. I feel like we didn't, like you said before, we didn't realize it at the time, but these were probably some of the best movies that I've ever seen in movie theaters. And like, you know, I was in high school or in, you know, early college or whatever. We were going on Friday night. You were going on Saturday night with a packed crowd, with a young crowd who was rowdy back when like you wouldn't get arrested if you snuck beers into the fucking theater or whatever. You know, so like you had the Friday the 13th remake, which was like a little bit later, but like, dude, even that.
I was just telling somebody how fucking good that remake is, looking back on it now.
Dude, the Dawn of the Dead remake, like a much more, like that movie was violent as hell. And, you know, I knew somebody personally that, like, you know, they were my age and it freaked them the fuck out. They weren't really into the movies like, you know, I was, but
I like that.
You know, it was a very effective movie. And of course, at the time, you're like, how could you remake that? They should have fucking blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, the movie's fucking awesome. Like, if you take a step back, I think that the fault with that one was they called it Dawn of the Dead. They should have called it something else and just said, like, being in the mall was an homage. You know what I mean? It was different enough. You could even
tie it into it in some way. Just don't make it the remake of the epic
that one was different enough of the shit that happened in the mall where, like, if they called it something else and they said we wanted to pay homage to it, like, whatever, like, people would have been like, yeah, sure. There was no scene of them, like, blocking the entrances with trucks or anything like that. They show them fucking around and stuff, but, like, it doesn't have the same feeling as the original and all that stuff. But the movie itself, it's a fucking awesome, modern, fast-paced horror movie, fucking 28 Days Later and all that shit. Like,
dude, that opening fucking with the girl zombie, the neighbor girl zombie that comes into the bedroom.
Just rips the fucking husband's throat out and all that shit. And then he turns into one and starts going crazy at her.
The POV on the camera of the fucking car. Drive it to the crazy. Dude, that movie is so good.
I'll never forget.
I love this time period of fucking horror. I've never really said this, but dude, honestly, the early 2000s is such an awesome time period for horror movies.
And it's funny because it's not even like a nostalgia thing. Like, you thought all those movies sucked when they came out.
I just said, like, I talked shit about every single fucking one of these movies for sure.
One thing about that Dawn of the Dead remake, before we start getting into Wrong Turn, one thing that will always stick out in my mind is the noise that it makes when she runs into the bathroom into the beginning and just slams into the wall, like in the bathtub, like she just fucking boom into the wall. It's such a thud. Whoever did the fucking like ADR on that, or it
kills it.
Beautiful. Chef's kiss. Awesome movie.
You could feel the pain of that scene, man. That's the best part.
I think they put that on Peacock actually, for people who want to watch that. Yeah, nice. I think that's on Peacock right now. But Wrong Turn.
Gladfire, what's up, bud? Welcome to the chat, dude.
Wrong Turn from 2003. Some hillbilly mutant horror action. This is Deliverance for the 21st century. Only they don't want to see your panties. Right, they're just trying to kill and eat you. Grizz, dude, why don't you give the people a little synopsis of Wrong Turn, and we'll kind of talk about the whole franchise or what became of it.
Yeah. Some unfortunate travelers get get stuck out in these hills of West Virginia. And become the fodder of a group of incestual family hillbillies. I think that's pretty much it, man.
Yeah, this roaming group of mutant killers basically eat anybody that they trap and kill. Wrong Turn started as this low-budget movie, 2003, turned into a huge franchise. It's a ton of them. They made like a remake or a reboot of some sort recently also.
I believe so. 2021, wasn't it? Wasn't it like a couple years ago?
I watched a quick video about that one. I never saw the movie completely.
Yeah, I should check it out. Honestly.
It didn't look too bad, but as the series goes on, it gets a little weaker. The second movie I feel is the best one, the one with Henry Rollins. I don't know how many. Have you seen a bunch of these? Have you only really seen the original?
I've seen up to the third. I don't remember the third too much, but I feel like I watched it.
Yeah,
second one is definitely good. I like the second one too. I like this one the most though. This is my preferred, go-to if I'm watching the series.
I tried to watch as many as I could. I got through pretty much 3. I don't really remember the third one too much, but I feel like I've seen all of them at least once in my travels. I've definitely seen the first one the most. I own this on DVD somewhere.
Yeah, me too.
This would have been something that, like, back in fucking, mid 2000s, going to Best Buy when they actually had a really good DVD section and be like, oh, the fuck is this? Like, let me see. I didn't see this in theaters. This wasn't something I saw when it first came out.
I saw this. I was working at my best friend at the time. His mom had a video store in the small town we grew up in, and I was working at that store when we got this on DVD for like the first time for rental. And I remember going back to my buddy's place and getting like teenager stoned where you're super giggly and fucking it's like it's really ridiculous.
A piece of fucking tinfoil.
Yeah, dude, that's pretty much it. And when we watched this movie, and at the time, there's certain scenes of this movie that just have stuck with me throughout time, and we have some of them here that we'll talk about and stuff. And from that point on, I've been a fan. I remember taking this one home from the store all the time to fucking just watch on my own, hanging out at the house, just fucking killing time.
Would you call this a modern classic?
Yeah, I feel like for that time period, if we're talking about like, you know, eras of horror, this has to sit up there in this time period, you know. But at the same time, like I'm thinking back on it now, that time period is so vast on what's going on, starting with like, I guess it all kind of started with Scream a little bit in the late 90s, but you know, you have that kind of thing going on, that like, I Know What You Did Last Summer, all those kind of fucking movies happening. But then you also have like these kind of like horror movies happening. So there's like a little bit of like, you know, these two different like styles that are like prevalent in the scene and stuff. But no, man, like this stuff here, I think sits in the pantheon of like the 2000 era horror. This is iconic. They're making remakes of it now, you know, 20 years later. That's a hallmark of a good horror movie, I think.
Well, you know, it's a real like hallmark of a good horror movie when the name of your movie now becomes almost like a pop culture phrase or reference. Like, oh shit, look at them, fucking straight out of Wrong Turn.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Sure.
Like I've heard people say that have never seen the movie, but they're aware of it,
no shit.
and they know what it's about. You know what I mean? Like, so it's up there. I think it's a similar thing with Deliverance. People know what Deliverance is about. They know the fucking dueling banjos. But how many people have actually watched Deliverance? Like, you would be surprised.
It's not bad.
Yeah, but you would be surprised. Like, the average person has not seen that movie, but they know what it is. They know what it's about. Yeah. They know the fucking "you got a purty mouth." Like,
they know the innuendo that people are usually joking about when they fucking talk about the movie.
Exactly. And I
think it's the same thing with this. 100%.
Exactly. And it's pretty amazing to see, like, you know, a modern version of that, how it just occurs. You know, it just happens.
So like you were saying, though, I mean, you know, this movie does feature 3 of my cousins. They are all paid pretty well for this movie, and they got fed, so they were all pretty stoked about that. But yeah, dude, I was happy you did bring that up.
What are their names? Three Finger, Sawtooth, and what's the other one? One Eye.
Yeah, now these aren't gimmick names. This is like what we actually call my cousins. So it's it worked out pretty well.
Do they own the trademark, or how's that work out?
No. They had to sign away all of their rights. They got some cases of Coca-Cola though that were
nice, very
about.
Nice.
Yeah,
very nice. I hope it's the Mexican Coke with the cane sugar.
It's RC Cola, I should have said.
Oh, fuck, man. Yeah. So as we said before, this movie, like many of these types of movies, start with a group going out on, you know, a trip, vacation, or whatnot through the backwoods of wherever, and of course things never go, you know, as planned.
And what we don't have a clip of, though, is this movie also has the Bad Omen gas station attendant.
Yes.
You know, which I think is what I do enjoy about this movie, is that it does in a way kind of pay homage to the rules that have already been established in horror movies. And like, this is a big one, I think, for this kind of movie, is this like establishment of like, there's a quick route or there's like a shortcut or something, you know? And there's always that gas station attendant. Might be a little bit of a dick, might not be. Always plays a role in the movie, though.
Well, that's the thing, man. You don't know. Is he good or is he bad? Is he giving you good advice? Is he giving you bad advice? Is he on their side, or is he trying to like steer you away from it? You don't know. You don't know.
This one's pretty obvious, honestly. This one,
he's got the look.
Yeah, that dude looks pretty fucked up, bro.
Well, like in the later movies, you find out this dude is like fucking connected to everything. One thing I will say though is like, he's not very pushy about it, right? He's not like no, you better go that way. Like, you have to go that way. He's kind of
no.
Like,
I think that's kind of like the play. You know, you don't want to like insinuate that you should go that way, because then the person might be like, what the fuck, you look pretty sketchy, bro, with your fucking you know, your face. So
it's like one of those things where like the road to the left is like an open highway, and the road to the right, like it's got a tree covering where it looks all like fucking, gnarly and it's spooky.
But no, like that is part of it where he's just like, that's the old highway or whatever. He doesn't really have to give too much besides that, and there's a little bit of a conflict between the two of them at the end, and there's like a great line of the fucking guy being like, "You're the one that's gonna need help, mister." And fucking, I was like, yeah, but then we see that like something's not right because this dude's just fucking cruising through the fucking woods, and all of a sudden he like smashes fucking into this group of fucking teenagers in this car.
Let me roll this clip because this is a violent fucking car wreck that I feel like you probably wouldn't just walk away from, right? Like he's cruising when he hits them.
Yeah. Get it, bro.
It's like, oh, dead deer on the side of the road. That's never a good thing, but he's cruising, not paying attention, and holy fuck.
Dude, in that old of a Mustang, you're not fucking just getting out and walking on it.
What is that like a Land Rover?
Late 60s, dude. And he nails like a fucking Land Rover.
Dude, you would not be walking away from that. You would be fucked up.
He's got to be going 55, 60, dude. He's cruising.
Yeah. And this, unfortunately for him, leads to his adventurous couple days. I don't know what I would do in that situation. Like you just fucking destroyed your car. You're in the middle of nowhere in Virginia. Yeah. You also destroyed somebody else's car. You're totally at fault there. Like totally at fault. But there's bigger things to worry about at this point besides insurance claims, because the car that he ran into had their tires sabotaged intentionally. Yeah. Right? There's
on here that's kind of fucking weird is it's all like, what is it, like wrapped with like barbed wire or some shit, right? Like,
yeah, I think it's supposed to be like they ran over like a barbed wire strip. You know what I mean? Yeah. It got caught up in their wheel.
Tangled fucking shit right up, dude. That's
all. You could probably drive pretty far with that, to be honest.
Yeah, I'd fucking cruise.
I would just keep going.
I ain't hanging out there.
Yeah, if I found that shit on my tire, I'd be like, well, I'm riding rims, baby.
But yo, legitimately though, like, yeah, that shit's on your tire. You can at least get the fuck off the road, you dumbasses. Like,
yeah, it was really strange how they were parked like horizontally across the road instead of just like pulled off to the side.
Makes no sense, man. Just fucking pull off.
I don't know, man. I don't know. People
Kids,
did weird. People did weird shit in the early 90s. But they decide that their best course of action is to try to find help, right? That's the whole thing. We need to get like some fucking. Of
course, yeah.
Not everybody has a cell phone, or there's no fucking service because it's not fucking 2024, and you're in the middle of the woods. So they decided to hoof it, right? Which is kind of weird that they started just like walking through the woods, right?
What do you do in that situation, though?
You follow the road, dude.
I stay on the fucking road. Yeah, for sure. The decision to go into the woods is... But it's also like, okay, say you're hiking the road, you see some fucking smoke, could be a fucking house. It's like, do you fucking follow a trail into the woods? Do you follow the smoke in to see if you find somebody? Well, like, there's some decisions that have to be made in these dire,
I could tell you this.
Moments.
The house that they find, if I walked up on that shit, zero chance of me even knocking on that door. I'm getting the fuck off that property and just going to keep walking.
Yeah, like the cottage is fucking terrifying. Yeah. Like,
it looks like a witch's cottage. Like, it looks like you're gonna get fucking boiled alive in there.
It looks like a witch's cottage in a junkyard. Like, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I've seen nothing but trouble. All right.
Yeah, and like, it's like a fucking like low budget fucking nothing but trouble house. But like, they go up to it, they fucking knock, and then they decide just to fucking go inside. Like, what the fuck? Like, who the dude? Like, that's for one, that's wrong. You don't just enter someone's fucking house. Like, who the fuck do you think you are? You deserve to die at this point.
With a fire going, so somebody lives there. Somebody's actively living in that place.
It's not like, oh, this must be abandoned. There's signs of fucking life, yo.
active, like currently, like somebody just stepped out for a few minutes.
There's some signs of not life as well, as we'll fucking come to find out.
That's true. But what's with these movies where these people are like, yeah, I'm just gonna fucking walk in this house.
Yeah, very bold, man. It makes me less sympathetic for them right off the fucking jump. I immediately like, these people are fucking idiots. Not only that, they're fucking bad people.
Yeah, you never break and enter.
They might be mutants, but they deserve their fucking privacy. Goddamn it.
Here's the question: if they would have just kept walking, would they have escaped? Because we find out later that some of their friends who stayed behind did not.
Oh, you mean like if they would have stayed on the road and just fucking because basically there's 4 of them that go on the hike, and 2 of them stay behind to fuck, basically.
The 2 that were in the Dawn of the Dead remake stay behind together, which is kind of funny.
They're smoking doobies and banging. I'm like, yeah, you guys are cool. And then but they end up getting it, unfortunately. But that's what you get in these movies, dude. That's another classic horror trope that fucking is followed through on this one. The people that were fucking doing the drugs and fucking were like the first to fucking truly die in this movie. So that's cool. They follow through on that.
And this is pretty much where the movie kicks off, right? Once they enter the cabin and they realize
that shit's gone awry for sure.
They realize, fuck, whoever lives here is coming the fuck home. Let's hide under the bed because that always works.
And they've already at this point have seen some wild shit in this fucking cabin going through it. Refrigerators full of fucking weirdness and shit, just
human teeth, jawbones and shit, all sorts of stuff.
Weird stuff, man. So then obviously you're gonna fucking hide.
So they say, all right, we're hiding in this fucking cabin. Just be fucking quiet. Maybe they'll go away or something, and we can get the fuck out, right? So let's roll that clip because not as easy as they assumed. They're laying hiding. And their fucking dead friend's body just gets dropped right in front of them, all mangled. It looks like she's got barbed wire
through her face, dude. Yeah. It's fucking awesome.
And the blood starts seeping out and slowly trickling towards them. And that is always an uncomfortable position to be in.
I like that detail too. Not only does it fall there, but there's the aspect of are they gonna freak out when it hits them? What's gonna happen if it it just kind of adds to the fucking suspense of the moment. It's
it almost follows them, right? It's almost going directly towards them, which is kind of fucked up. I don't know, man. What would you do in that situation? What can you do?
Oh man, this is a tough one. First of all, I would never be in this situation because I wouldn't enter a fucking stranger's house like this.
True.
But if I ended up, for some unlikely reason, being stuck in a house like this, do you just stay hidden and hope they fucking leave again and you get the fuck out of there? That's kind of the first thought I have is if I'm okay here at the moment, I'm gonna be okay here for as long as possible, or do you make the dash, for the door?
The whole thing is what if they're there for the night? That's it. They don't leave.
That sucks. Yeah.
They kind of got lucky though because they decided that they were going to take a siesta, right? They're going to take a mid-afternoon nap after they feasted on this dead body.
Yeah, dude. I don't know if that's better or worse, man. I'd hate to do the whole tap dancing out the fucking house, making no one fucking hear me, that shit's gonna give me a heart attack if I gotta do that in real life. That's fucking drama, dude.
See, at that point, do you just try to find one of the knives and just try to fucking go at all of them?
Take out one. Oh, but that's the thing. You're so outnumbered. Maybe one of the ladies you are with might have some gusto, but I don't know, dude. It's a 50-50 shot if they're gonna be able to fucking take one out with you.
Well, these mutants also have slightly regenerative abilities, right? Almost they don't take damage like a regular person would. They just keep coming like Jason, right?
You think that's a birth defect of some type? What would cause
the
inability to feel pain?
Mutants, baby. inbred mutants.
But okay, but I mean, I feel like there's got to be something that like some kind of nerve.
Yeah, they have like a dull nerve type
defect.
Thing. Yeah, like Kick-Ass. Yeah. You ever see Kick-Ass or read Kick-Ass? Like he can't. Yeah. He's got like the dull nerve thing where he can just get the shit beat out of him and he don't feel it. That's what's going on. Well, I guess you could, but I don't know how good that would be. One day you're just gonna fucking die. Well, what happened? He bled to death. I don't know. He had a cut on his leg. Didn't feel it,
bro.
Yeah. Viano Films. What's up, dude? Yo, haven't seen you in a while.
Video. Also, what's going on, my dude?
So, yeah, they decide let's book it while they're taking a nap, and of course, it never works out as planned. The mutants wake up, start chasing them, and now it's on.
Oh, right? I hate this.
You know, did this make you uncomfortable, man? Did you feel like you were going to you had high anxiety during this part?
You know, this definitely like peaks it a little bit like that. Like it's a good fucking topic, man. What to you like gives you the most anxiety when watching a horror movie? Like, is there certain scenes or is there an aspect of a movie that just like really fucking gets under your skin?
Besides like the like run bitch run type thing?
Yeah, I'm not talking about like makes you uncomfortable. I'm talking about like legitimately like makes your skin crawl, makes you fucking feel a little bit uneasy about like you being in the situation kind of a thing.
I would probably say more so like supernatural Jason type person in the woods at night.
Okay.
That sort of stuff makes me feel uneasy because it's like you're fucked. You know what I mean? Like no matter what you do, you can't kill it.
No rhyme or reason.
You can't. You have no idea where you are, so like you're disoriented in that sort of way. You have nothing to protect yourself with, really. It's a real like helpless situation. You know, like you have no.
See that. The whole like unknowing thing with that is the terrifying part, and the fact that he's unseemingly like able to teleport, so there feels like there is no getting away. That's definitely fucking. I mean, for me, man, it's like any scene where like there's someone who has to like crawl through like a tight space to escape, or like, or ends up getting stuck in like a really confined like, dirt what? Fucking.
I might actually I might have to agree with you on that one. Actually, I think I might hate that more.
Fucking
going through tunnels and stuff. Dude.
Yeah, man. Like I can't. I want to think if there's might be a part in House of a Thousand Corpses where like. She's like crawling through fucking like
when she at the end when they drop her in the thing.
Yeah, like dude, something about that. That's like the worst way to die, in my opinion. Is that like getting stuck in a confined like a tight cave spot or some shit?
What was that place? The Nutty Cavern, fucking thing. Where the dude got stuck upside down and slanted in, and he got fucking. They couldn't get him out.
That's the worst way. You're slowly the conscious death. And like starving to death, dehydration sets in, the cramping, the fucking mental torture. That, in my opinion, is the fucking worst.
A modern horror movie that I absolutely fucking love, that I know a lot of people don't, but I think people also do like it, As Above, So Below. When they start getting like deep into the catacombs, like that shit is pretty like high anxiety. Because now like they start, like there's things where you could fall through the floor. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you're in a place like that. Like you could one slip and now you're going down the shaft and hitting everything on the way down. What was that movie with like the cave monsters? The Descent. That's another one.
Yeah, that's another one that feels that way, man.
Yeah, like you make one wrong move or make one wrong decision on which way you're going. You're either lost or you're falling down a fucking narrow, stone shaft that's just gonna. And as like a bigger dude, that terrifies me. Because you're getting stuck or getting fucked up. I have
claustrophobia. Honestly, that's what it makes me realize. 100%.
I think I don't have a problem being in like confined spaces. I would have a problem being in a space where like I can't physically push my way through. You know what I mean? Like where you have to like force your way in. Like I could be in a closet and not freak out.
Yeah, I could. Yeah. Closet's cool. It's when I can't. Like touch my face or like
where you're locked in, like where you can't you physically can't move, like being at the bottom of the dog pile
Like I could never do that like latex man kink fucking BDSM thing where they put you in that like suction suit, dude. Yeah, you're like, oh, the fucking mouth.
I thought we were gonna do an episode like that. Me and you.
I was going to, bro. I couldn't do it though. I'd freak out. Lose my shit.
But now we start getting into some creative shit in the movie. Right, we start getting some fucking some wild kills. We get the family hunting these four unfortunate young people. Yeah. Chris, how do you want to go about this? Do you want to ruin the movie? Do you want to just kind of talk about the kills or our favorite parts?
Man. I mean, there's awesome parts about this movie, man. And like one of the best aspects of it, in my opinion, is not something that I could really like. I could pull a clip of it, but it'd be just a really short thing. When these fucking, obviously these people run out of the fucking house, they're on the chase. These fucking mutants are like chasing them through the woods, and they obviously have the upper hand. These are their woods. They fucking know these woods like the back of their weird fucking bumpy fucking hands. So like, but when they're running through the woods, you get these shots of like, it looks like a fucking the raptors in Jurassic Park are like running through the fucking forest, like because all the trees and shit are fucking like
just a shadow.
Shaking.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm like, that's such a cool fucking feature to add it. It's menacing as fuck because you can be like running and see like this like shaking fucking snake, almost like Tremors, man. Like you could see the ground moving and shit, and then coming at you. You're like, dude, that's fucking terrifying.
I would just hate to be in this fucking situation. That's for fucking sure. But the kills start getting pretty cool. We have the one dude is running away and he gets fucking shot up with that orc looking bow and arrow, something straight out of the like Mordor. Right?
They find like the junkyard with like hundreds of cars of people that they've done the same thing to, and they end up making a distraction and they steal the fucking mutant's truck, and they're trying to pick up their last remaining fucking their friend here, and they're a tad bit too late, as you'll see.
My dad has a truck like that. It's not a wrecker, but he's got a pickup that looks like that.
Scott! Scott, let's go!
Oh no, Scott! You shouldn't have wore bright yellow.
Yeah, I like.
See
this,
right
man.
there, he takes the first one. Yeah.
They're like, what the fuck?
Second one. You notice how his shirt like gets like buttoned up as he gets fucking hit. See, gets even more buttoned up. And then he gets that
last one comes through his chest.
Fucking brutal, man. I would never want to get shot with the hillbilly fucking bow and arrow, like their fucking hunting bow, man. Fuck.
Well, yeah, because even if you fucking survive the shot, the infection is gonna fuck you up, dude.
Hell
that thing is not clean.
Yeah, you're gonna die like the old west, like you're fucking dying on the plains. His girlfriend gets it pretty bad. When she's up in the tree and she gets like, is it still considered being decapitated?
This is my favorite kill of the movie, dude.
Yeah, you like
this is absolutely incredible. They're basically, they got stuck in this like fucking observation tower.
It's a fire tower. That's what they keep calling it, a fire tower.
Yeah, and like they're up there thinking they're safe, and the fucking mutants start burning the fucking tower down.
I said it was a fire tower.
Yeah, you're not gonna come down. We're gonna fucking burn you out, which is an awesome fucking tactic. But they jump into the trees to try to escape this fire tower being on fire and these mutants. And like I said, these fucking mutants, this is their playground, dude. Like, especially this little spider monkey one, dude. He's gonna fuck you up in the trees, dude. This is where he hangs out. And this is just an incredible kill.
So he just appears out of nowhere. And swings his hatchet and cuts her head in half.
At the teeth line.
Yeah, like right through the mouth. But what the cool thing about this is, you see the rest of her body falling down the tree and hitting the branches like ragdolling on the way down.
I lost it the first time I saw this when I was like fucking 16 years old.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Fucking, I rewinded it. I was like, this is... What the fuck was that we just watched, man? This was huge to me.
I don't know if this is my favorite, but I do really like it when the cop that he flags down gets shot through the eye with the arrow. The arrows are fucking deadly as hell. This dude is like an Olympic archer. He is.
That's all he does, baby. This is how he eats.
So our main man's girl gets stolen by the hillbillies, but he luckily runs into a cop on the road, which if they kind of just stuck together and kept running towards the road, they would have, seen another car. It seems like there's some decent amount of traffic on this path, but this cop gets out and wants to know what the fuck is going on.
Oh, thank God. Are you crazy? They took her. Come on, we gotta go.
Just calm down.
We gotta move.
You one of them folks who called me from the fire tower? I've been looking all over for you.
Please shut up and listen. People are dead.
Dead? What people?
Boom.
You, bro.
Takes an arrow right through the fucking eye.
Yeah, that is pretty fucking good, dude. That might be one of the better ones for
It's
sure.
actually pretty awesome because this dude like fucking hides on like underneath this looks like a Bronco or like an old I don't know what the fuck that thing is. But he like just grabs onto the fucking frame. Just rides it back over these dirt roads. It's like, dude, you would be dead. If like the first big fucking bump, that's it. You're done. Your back is fucking gone. Your ribs are broken. Shit, man. But this is kind of like the setup to the end of the film.
Yeah.
Right? If nobody's going to go help this dude, he's going to go do it himself. So he hitches a ride underneath this truck, goes back to the witch's fucking house. And he's like, you know what?
House.
Let me think about this, but I'm going to fuck these dudes up. Right? It's only 3 of them.
They have his girlfriend, well, his new girlfriend.
Yeah.
They're not
recently,
official. There's
recently
something there, obviously.
Yeah, it's there's some chemistry, but he's like, all right, I'm gonna get this woman back, and they don't really they don't really say what's gonna happen to the girl, but it ain't good, that's for sure. No. In the later movies, they show that they like breed with the people that they fucking capture and stuff.
I think that was an added thing into the later movies because that's never implied here. Even when they have her captured, like they're about to fucking butcher. Like that's the main objective.
You think that's what it is? That they were just gonna like kind of eat parts of her, maybe keep her alive so it's fresh?
Yeah, like I don't see them like doing. They're not making any sexual gestures.
Well, at one point, the one dude does go like to her.
Yeah, I don't think that was like necessarily like.
You think that was more of like I'm gonna eat you, and less.
Yeah,
like,
I think that's how I take it too. Plus, he's just a fucking mutant, dude. He makes fucking
he's
mouth
a fucking
noises.
moron. True. But this dude's fucking Ken's plan is absolutely awesome. He's gonna die hard it. He takes that truck and he drives it right through the side of that motherfucking cabin. This guy also speaks like Orcish, which is kind of funny.
Klingon, dude. Jesus Christ.
Also, one thing, how does he know that like she's not near the fucking a couple things can happen within a few minutes of him looking at what's going on. So like the door just bursts into flames. He nails it with the Molotov somehow. And then runs that hillbilly.
I love that guy flying, dude.
Yeah, dude, he hits him straight with that car, but the guy doesn't die. See, so these things have like some sort of like extra mojo. Not supernatural. Oh. It's not supernatural. But like they got a little bit of fucking resilience to them, right? Like
I feel like on a good day you might be able to take a hit.
Dude, like the car was going fast enough to go through the side of the house and break through, not even just like break the fucking beams.
Yeah, but the house broke the fall already. Like the main impact, the house already
that's a lot of force.
And slowed it down a little. So you're getting like the back end of that speed and velocity of impact. It's going to hurt, bro. I'm not saying you're not going to be like, oh, but
I ain't getting up and fighting this dude.
I feel like adrenaline would kick in, dude. I feel you'd be like, what the fuck? It's fight or flight. And I feel like you'd be like, I need to fucking defend myself after getting a hit. Like, you ever been hit hard and you don't know where it came from, but you immediately are like, I need to fuck somebody up. Like, I need to fucking knuck up here because something's about to happen. Like, what the fuck? Even if someone didn't do it on purpose, like your immediate thing is like, I gotta fucking take care of myself, you know?
Damn, dude. I feel like my back would be broken after getting hit by that thing. Holy shit.
At my age now, yeah, for sure. I feel like I sleep wrong and I'm fucking broken, dude.
Dude, that's
So,
not even the fucking worst thing that happens either. Doesn't he get stabbed or he gets hit with the hatchet? Which
he's the hatchet man, yeah, because the big guy is the fucking gets stabbed.
dude, he's on fire. He's straight up just in flames, right? This is cool because like within 5 minutes, like everything just happens.
Yeah, it's a big finale scene.
Let's play the flaming stabbing first. So the big one's on fire, and our hero takes like a wrench, right? It's like a wrench, and he fucking sticks it right through this motherfucker's stomach.
So good. I like how, dude, like being on fire and shit. It's awesome.
But he's not dead either, right? I don't even
He
think
looks like fucking Sloth from the Goonies on steroids. It's fucking awesome.
That's like,
dude.
yeah. The axe is pretty fucked up, right? Like that would do some damage.
I like this. Yeah, this is great.
So now the both of them are fighting.
She's helping out, though.
Yeah, I like Boots too. She's playing her part here. They're fighting. They get him around the neck with a chain. Yeah, hold him. She takes that fucking axe and just slams it right into his chest. I feel like that thing would go way further in.
Oh yeah. Well, that's not how hard she hit him.
That thing is big. That's a big axe, man.
That's some weight to it, right? I would feel, I'd be like, yo, cool, but like, fucking don't do that next time with my face right here.
Yeah. Well, really, at this point in time, I would take that axe and decapitate all the mutants.
Oh yeah, like
would
you
be
gotta
it.
go for a fucking final kill. I wouldn't be satisfied.
Because we do see, we're going to show something later on, but he figures that he could kill them by just like blowing up the house. Something really odd about what we're about to show you and what you're about to hear at home. When the house explodes, the beginning of James Brown's I Feel Good plays.
Does it really?
The ow. I swear to God. I'm going to make it a little louder than usual. All right? Everybody's got to listen. Everybody's got to listen. All right?
Dialed it.
Shoot them.
So they're kind of still moving in the house, and they decide we're going to shoot the gas cans and destroy everything. Now listen, when the gas cans explode...
Come on. You motherfuckers. Just die.
Oh, dude, they do. Why the fuck is that in there?
Earlier in the movie, they also referenced like a James Brown impersonator, which was really fucking strange that was the thing.
Weird,
but
dude.
they should have...
What the fuck?
They should have fucking decapitated them, though, because unfortunately, one of them survives. And this is kind of an after credits thing. This is something that I feel like started to get way more popular after the mid 2000s, right? Early to mid 2000s, this became very popular to have like the credit, stinger. Cops are finally there. For some reason, there's like only one cop. This is a pretty good scene, though. I think this is my favorite scene. Cops looking through the rubble, sees like an arm, like chewed off arm, and in the background you see something going over the hill in the moonlight.
That shot. Oh,
that's the mutant.
dude, that ending? Are you kidding me? That's how you end a fucking movie.
That is how you end a mutant slasher, and that was wrong fucking turn. Grizz, man, this movie is fucking pretty awesome. I know it's not as crazy as the later ones, but it's a real solid, like straight up horror movie, like backwoods slasher. The effects are good. The mutant family looks awesome. Like the actual makeup is really good.
Yeah.
It's got like a really odd, like an oddly cool atmosphere to it, right? Like,
it does, man. Like it feels authentic. I mean, although this was shot in like Ontario, Canada, it wasn't shot in West Virginia.
Yeah, but it's still like the woods and everything looks like West Virginia.
It feels authentic, man. It really takes you there.
And that was Cabin Fever. Why am I thinking of Cabin Fever now?
That was not Cabin Fever.
That was not Cabin Fever. That was wrong fucking turn. God damn. One day we'll do Cabin Fever. But yeah, I'm pretty fucking shocked how much I really like that movie every time I watch it. You kind of think it's gonna suck, but it doesn't. Every time it just delivers.
Dude, it hits that button for me, dude. Like all of these fucking movies we talked about, these early 2000 horror movies, and maybe it's just our generation, being somewhat reminiscent of them or something, dude. But man, I feel like they are fucking huge payouts every time I go back and watch it.
Yeah, this shit fucking rules. So yeah, check it out. It's out there. I think even it's on YouTube, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It's on YouTube, yeah. But Grizz, it's time we head over to the wide world of metal. And what do we have this week?
I got something kind of cool, a little bit interesting. This is another band that I kind of have a hard time placing a single genre label on. The band is called Outer Graves. This is the release Terminal Limits. I guess I would consider this to be a blackened death metal band.
That's what I took it as, yeah.
But it's kind of got these interesting elements to it where it definitely has like a black metal vocal delivery. That's what definitely stands out as the most black metal part of it. Some great fucking trem riffs also, as you'll hear. But this has like the production of like a mid-90s death metal album to me.
Yeah. And the artwork is awesome too.
The artwork is amazing. The bass recording on these tracks, for one, it's incredible bass tone, but this feels like a bass tone from like early Alex Webster fucking catalog, dude. This could have been off of any of the early like Cannibal Corpse albums, and it would have felt right at home.
Where do you want to start?
Let's start with Scavenger.
All right.
Fucking bass from
Yeah, this shit is awesome. I love that.
Yeah, that fucking march fucking beat right there, dude, is so good.
Dude, this shit is
Okay.
fucking awesome.
So I also want to compliment this band as well. This band is from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. All right, and I say that it's important because if you are a fucking American black metal band, you are not a Norwegian black metal band. So don't fucking try to act like a Norwegian black metal band.
True.
Because it immediately it ruins it for me. I'm like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
With that being said, like, I love that this band has this concept of being this black and death metal band that sings about like this weird space fucking thing. Like, there's another band, Untamed Lands, that I showed you. That's like a Western black metal band, dude. And it's all about like fucking cowboys. And it's like, that's how you fucking do it, in my opinion. If you're an American black metal band, you fucking find the niche that works for you and like that you're into, and you fucking crush it, man.
Let's do Re-Entry.
Yeah, great song. God, fucking bass music.
They all have this like fucking groove to it. This is very fucking Alex Webster. Very Cannibal Corpse-ish.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
that
dude, shit is sick. Yeah. Also, I want a shirt with this album artwork.
Oh, the album artwork's awesome.
I can't put my finger on who this dude sounds like, who the singer sounds like, but it's good. It's not bad. It's a good thing. Maybe.
The singer is a girl by the name of Kate Koyish.
Damn, female
awesome.
singer too.
Awesome female.
Who I'm
vocals,
thinking of is not a female either. So
dude,
maybe
she fucking rules, dude. That sounds so good, and it's a full 4-piece, which I think is great. That's exactly what it should be, man. Get a solid fucking 4-piece that can crush fucking tracks like this, man. Like, to me, this is like a bassy black metal bolt thrower. Like that's what this fucking sounds like, dude.
I like that.
It's so fucking good. This is my favorite song that we did here for the last one too. This Malevolent Entity.
It's fucking so awesome.
Yeah.
What a vibe this like puts off.
Double time on that motherfucker right there. Ah, fuck yeah.
I can't think of who this sounds like. It's gonna come to me like
the vocals almost have a hint of like early Immortal fucking delivery to them.
Dude, is it like maybe like I Hate God?
Oh, I could honestly, I hear a little bit of that too.
Doesn't the dude sound like that? I don't know. I haven't listened to them in so fucking long, but dude, this band fucking rules. I highly advise everybody checking this out. Grizz, where could they find their
go check out their Bandcamp. This is their most recent release as of this past month. This just came out. So support the fuck out of this album. It's a full 8-track album. Every song fucking delivers. I listened to this whole thing and it was tough for me to pick, 3 that I thought were like shining moments and stuff because each of them has that groove. It has that fucking delivery. Get down their Bandcamp, go on their Spotify. There's like some tracks on YouTube you can check out and shit. But dude, like you said, like Mike said, he wants the shirt with that fucking album cover. Go on their Bandcamp. Tons of fucking merch and shit to check out.
What's their name? Say their name once more.
Outer Graves, and this is the Terminal Limit release that they just put out.
Very awesome. Definitely check them out. This is probably one of my top Wide World of Metals of this year so far. I really fucking like this one rules. Yeah, this hits all the notes for me. Like I wish I was in a band like this. Like this is
exactly it, dude. This is what I've always tried to do, and it never fucking comes together.
Damn, we might have to rip them off. But Grizz, I think that just about wraps it up for our special Friday edition of
this was fun video. Fuck.
It was. I feel like we had a little bit of extra pep in our step, or maybe it was tequila. I don't know. One of those things. I'm not really a weekday drinker, but hey, it's Friday fucking night. We're here to party. We're here to hang out. I want to thank everybody in the chat for coming this week.
You guys are awesome.
Yo, do you guys like the Friday night shit? Are you guys?
Yeah, actually, this is a good time. Yeah,
this was a good one. Let us know if you like the Friday night thing. We can start doing some extra stuff. Also, we could do some Saturday stuff. We'll figure out something maybe that's not like a regular thing, more of a hangout. We'll fucking try to find something to put on, something to talk about, something to do. Maybe a clip show.
I'd love to talk some shit with you guys about some movies, man.
Maybe we could just like start collecting crazy gore clips and we'll play that and we'll talk about it and fucking laugh.
Yeah, we got plenty, dude. I could fucking compilate a nice little fucking group of fucking clips.
We should do a special extra pre-Halloween. We'll do it on maybe a Friday or a Saturday night or something. Like a compilation, not necessarily of shit that not of us, but let's go through some of the fucking gore clips that we have and talk about them. What's some of our favorites and some wild stuff, some fun shit. We'll see.
Extravaganza. I'll figure that out, but it'll be fucking cool, man.
I think that would be a good idea. We'll do an extra one next month in October, and it's going to be the Gore Extravaganza. He's going to think of a better name.
I'll put it together. It's there somewhere.
Yeah, we could definitely have fun with that. But I want to thank everybody for coming. Grizz, where can they find you on the internet?
You can find me on Instagram at Kane_enabler.
And you can find me at Bad Taste Video. And you can find everything we do at www.badtastevideo.com. You could come see us every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@badtastevideopodcast. Normally, we're live 9 p.m. every Tuesday night. That's Eastern Standard Time. But this week we did things a little bit differently because we had Grizz was on vacation for his birthday. Happy birthday, Grizz. But
thank you, man. Also, everybody, do not forget October 22nd here, 9 p.m. on Tuesday, October 22nd. Live with us will be Brian Paulin talking about the movie Fetus. We're going to dig into some clips. He's going to talk about all of his movies, what he's got going on right now. That is going to be a fucking epic episode. So if you can, clear the fucking calendar for that one.
And we were just contacted by a very special person that you people would think is very relevant to our podcast.
Yes.
And we're going to definitely have him on. We'll see a date. Maybe we could do that in October too. That'd be actually pretty.
I was gonna
awesome.
say I could probably try to make it happen for another week in October. We could double dip, go hard in October this year, everybody. I think that's the plan.
Yeah, that would be fucking awesome. One thing I will say, we have to mention, we want to dedicate this episode to Asbestos Felt, somebody who we've enjoyed for years, and Killing Spree, everybody knows who he is. We got to meet him at VHS Fest. I have the signed photo outside the Double Cross studio over here. It's never, you hate to see it, but that's life. That's part of life. People come, people go. But at least
he was a legend, though, in his own time, and to us own people. We'll never forget the wild man of Killing Spree.
Yeah. It is what it is. We lost another great, but we will always have Killing Spree. We could always joke around about that. Remember the good times that we've had with Asbestos Felt. This is where we would have like the montage.
I don't want to wait.
But I want to thank everybody for coming. I want to thank everybody for listening at home. If you're listening via podcast, if you missed us live, you can watch this on our YouTube page at any time after, or you could just listen to the audio version wherever podcasts are found. I want to thank everybody for coming, and we will see you next week.